So one of the newest things in the last year that's come about is called CPMA, and what that is supposed to do is treat parvo, which there has been no treatment prior to this. It has only been supportive with giving the dog nausea medicines, fluids, and things like that, and the success rate is not always high, especially in settings like mine, shelters where the dogs are stressed, there's too many of them living in the facility. And so when this came out, we gave it a try, but again, with a new product, it's very expensive, and it's a trial and error even for the vets. They're learning as they go. But as we've used it, we have found it to be successful. Then what they started studying is using it as a prevention, a prophylactic use instead of the treatment. And I'm all for that, because if you've ever held a puppy with parvo, it's heartbreaking. And again, we're not always successful at them recovering. So I started studying this product a lot, and we started using it when our puppies would break with parvo. And we did have both successes and not success. But we continued studying and trying the product, and we're now doing what they had talked about and using it prophylactically. And even that's an experiment. What age should you give it? Because what this is supposed to be doing is replacing the maternal antibodies. When the puppies are born, within a certain period of time, they get protection from parvo from their own mother's antibodies. Over time, that begins to wear off. So the question is, what point is that? Is it at 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? So what we did was we looked at our history, and most of our puppies were breaking with parvo at about the 9-week stage. And by then, if they were born with us, they had already had 2 vaccines in an effort to prevent parvo. So we were really flabbergasted at why we're getting sick puppies when they've had 2 vaccines. They always also have to have more after that, but you would think they would have some protection at that 2-shot point. So we started our prevention dose at about the 9-week mark, and so far have been very successful. Then we had no outbreaks, actually. Then just a month ago, at 8 weeks, we had a litter break. And it was devastating because we hadn't had any losses in a long time. It was also expensive. We sent some to the hospital. We lost 3 out of 5. So that was, again, heartbreaking, despite our best efforts. And we put those, the hard work in there, and to have the loss made it even worse. So what we've done now is, again, we're learning as we go. We're experimenting. Even the developer of the product is still learning and experimenting. So we've moved our schedule back, and we're beginning our prophylactic dose at 8 weeks. Is it right? Is it wrong? It's different for every puppy and every litter. So we're just making the best guess that we can. And as we get success or failure, we'll mark it and learn from that. So we are keeping records on the dates that we're dosing the puppies. We're keeping records on who does or doesn't get sick. We're also making extra notes as to whether it was a healthy mother that was vaccinated, whether the puppies were born with us and had good nutrition. All of those things play a factor too in their immunity. But we do know for a fact that this product, the CPMA, is making a difference. But again, it's expensive. So we're committed to continuing to buy it if we can get help with financing it and using it as a prevention, because it's so much better than trying to treat a sick puppy. So I'll show you what some of that looks like. This product comes to us, it's shipped in dry ice. The medicine itself is actually frozen and has to stay that way until the moment that we're going to use it. And it takes just a brief time for it to thaw out because it's only 1 cc. Now, just like most medicines, it's based on the weight of the dog. So it comes shipped to us just like this. It's packaged in a larger box that is packed in dry ice. It ships overnight. We get it as soon as I order it. We belong to several shelter medicine programs, so we are able to buy some of these things at a discount versus if I went to my vet to buy it. And it stays packaged just like this. They're very big on the instructions, and I'm very big on following them. So what I buy are these tiny little vials. Each box has 6, and they're 1 cc syringes, 1 cc doses. Now this, if a puppy was already sick with parvo and I were treating it, this would be thawed out and given to them IV at 1 cc per 11 pounds. So if I have an 11-pound puppy and he is sick with parvo, he needs this whole bottle. Now, if a puppy is not sick yet, and we are trying to use this as a preventative per se, we would thaw this out and he could have half of that. So half of this would be given to the 11-pound puppy. So we are hoping to buy antibodies that the mothers have worn off, and we're giving these puppies a little more antibodies. And as they are also progressing with vaccines, the vaccines continue. This isn't replacing the vaccines. We still do that on a 15-day cycle at our shelter. Every 15 days, these puppies get another parvo shot, as well as other things, distemper, adenovirus. But parvo has been our deadliest in shelters. What we're hoping for is that we can get some donors that can sponsor a box once a week, once a month, because we're dosing every puppy that comes through here. They all get a chance. It's not like one litter, we should give them the antibodies, and the other litter will take our chances. We're doing it with every litter, because what happens with parvo is one litter breaks and it spreads. I could have multiple litters instantly sick with parvo. It can be carried by our hands, then the staff, our shoes, the feces, them licking each other through a fence, them drinking out of the same water bowl. Parvo is very, very contagious and very deadly. So for us, this is just as important to keep the puppies alive as it is for me to spay their mama dog to not make more litters.